What's up, everybody? Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. Tastes Like Music, coming at you with an album review. So the big new release this week is a new one from Elvis Costello. And if you watched our Songs of the Year that just came out, he was my winner in 86. I'm a big fan. Joe's a big fan. Cram's a fan as well. We reviewed his last record a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, whenever that was, called Hey Clockface. I don't think we were that big on it. I gave it a 2.5 stars, I think. I don't remember what you guys gave it, but I don't think any of us were super enthused.
Well, pretty enthused for this one. I think it's got a really nice classic Elvis appeal. I have listened to it twice. I'm at 3.5 stars, which means really good. And I listened to the first time just all the way through. The second time, I kind of paid attention to the lyrics. The third time, when I get to it, I am going to just read along, and I have a feeling that's going to push it to 4 because I am really enjoying it. I think it's, it's like classic Elvis. It's fun, it's spunky, it's quirky, it's, kind of juvenile and youthful and cool and clever and witty. Thought it was great. 3.5, really good.
Yeah, I didn't, none of us enjoyed Hey Clockface that much. And maybe, I contribute that to it just being a solo Elvis Costello. This time he's back with the Imposters, which he was with when he released Look Now, I think in 2018. Really like that album. So I'm gonna, I think Hey Clockface was sort of just like that was an Elvis album for Elvis. This one, he's back. He's with the band. He's with Pete and Steve and Davey Farragher. I don't know how to say his last name. Bass player. Not quite Bruce Thomas, but a good bass player nonetheless. And the band sounds great. There's a couple tracks on here. The big kind of like fuzzy guitar solo on one track. What If I Can't Give You Anything But Love is the name of the track. Really like spunky, upbeat, even, surprisingly heavy at times. A lot of that like angular sound harkening back to, his early records. I definitely got a big hint of Get Happy on this one. He seems real energized. I really like it. I have it at 4 stars. I think it walks the line really well between like an aging rock star who wants to kind of honor the past, but he's not like trying too hard. I think it's just sort of like natural to him to kind of be this quirky, jaded, kind of guy. And the band just really supports him and really adds a lot to the music. And I think it's really great. I'm a big fan of this one. Listened to it 2.5 times so far. So really liked it.
Good call. The band makes all the difference here.
Yeah, I think this is the most energized Elvis has sounded in ages. The rhythm section on it is great, really thumping. Steve Naive's bringing the classic organ sounds like his classic first 4 or 5 records. A lot of really good songs. I love Penelope Halfpenny. He's doing this really weird, like nasally high-pitched singing, which is very weird, but very cool. The keys on that song from Steve Naive are awesome. Like Joe mentioned, really cool electric guitar on What If I Can't Give You Anything But Love. That song also has really cool electric piano on it, which is something a little different from Steve Naive. And then I think like the first half is all these really great rockers. And about halfway through, he starts throwing in some ballads, and the ballads are really good, well-written songs. Paint the Red Rose Blue is really pretty tune. My Most Beautiful Mistake is great. You get Nicole Atkins with a really cool guest vocal on it. I think the lyrics are really good, his usual high standard. And the band really seems to like almost have free reign. They're just playing with a fire and getting after it. And it's awesome. The bass on Mistook Me for a Friend is great. There is a little bit of a weak stretch, I think, tracks 10, 11, 12, where they feel a little bit like they could have been on Hey Clockface. They're a little different, not as rocking. The Man You Love to Hate has this like circusy, almost like Benefit of Mr. Kite type of feel. Trick Out the Truth has also like an old timey sort of feel, maybe a little Tom Waitsy. So some of these tracks at near the end don't fit, but it does end pretty strong with Mr. Crescent, which I think is a really nice song. I'm at 4 stars. I think if he had edited those 3 tracks and had just had a really concise, solid 10-track record, I think he'd be looking at 4.5. But I still think he could get there with maybe a few more listens, because I think I'm at 4 stars, trending upward. Really enjoyed it. I think it's at least his best since All This Useless Beauty, and maybe his best since Blood and Chocolate. I don't know. It's really good.
I think I had looked now at 4 stars, but I think this one is significantly better and could even go up to 4.5. Just, it's so catchy, and it's just so impressive for, you know, someone of, yeah, he's older, so sometimes the older musicians can't quite bring that magic back, but he seems to be able to just like conjure it out of thin air, because some of these songs, Boy Named If, the title one, is great. Paint the Red Rose Blue, where he's kind of reaching back to get that like classic Costello cadence. He has that exaggerated vibrato. Something from like Imperial Bedroom or King of America, something like that. And just really impressive. I think he sounds good still. You can see like a little age creeping into the vocals, but for the most part, very impressed.
You can get a little bit of the age, but he like twists it with his like vocal mannerisms so well. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you want. It's cool and quirky. I think my favorite lyrical song is The Difference, especially when he's like, you know, I brought out the knife or whatever to show him the difference. It was just such cool like punctuation on that whole song. But I think Jason hit it on the head. The free range of the rhythm section is what really is the electricity in this entire album, especially on Mistook Me for a Friend. The bass and the drums there are just really just kind of like these dueling like swords back and forth, really angular and sharp, kind of bouncing off each other. And then yeah, Jason's right too with the ballads coming in at like the perfect time with like Paint the Red Rose Blue and My Most Beautiful Mistake. I think that's probably my favorite song on it, is My Most Beautiful Mistake. And I also agree with like the last little leg of it being not as good. I thought that Man You Love to Hate would have been a cool closer, because it's that really like big kind of circus act of just, and like kind of summing everything up. You know, I don't think the last few songs are total losses. It just, you know, just kind of like a little bit of extra stuff. It's like having a really good meal where everything's 5 stars and dessert is only pretty good, but it's still, yeah, very intriguing. And especially for me, because I know kind of the classic period of Elvis, and this is what it sounds like to me. And like going in without the repertoire that, you know, I don't know his stuff as well as you guys. Clockface to me was just like, I don't get this at all. Like, what is the deal here? But this is just like, it doesn't really seem like he missed a beat or aged a bit. Like, other than a few little nuances and his voice sounding elderly, like you could easily be like, oh yeah, this is an Elvis album from 1981 or 79 or whatever. Pretty cool.
Especially when you compare it to like some of the other aging rock stars' solo albums, like, I don't know, McCartney 3 maybe. Like, it's just, I think Costello still has the fire. He still has the voice. He still has, when he wants, a hot backing band. And I think that just makes all the difference in elevating the material.
And I think a lot of that is like inside him. He never really evolved all that much. I mean, some of his style did, but he's still just like a nerdy, like punker, like that wants to make pop songs in his own way. He like never went through those transitional periods all that much compared to someone like, you know, McCartney or whoever else, like Elton John. Like, he's never wanted to do all these really expansive things to prove he's an artist. He's like, no, this is who I am. Boom. Here's what you get.
You haven't heard the Juliet Letters or North then.
I have not. So yeah, I may be speaking a little out of turn, but I do know this is the best album that starts off the boy named Goo or whatever. Yeah.
And yeah, he just late for the senior circuit award. He probably could have won it for me. Just a couple weeks, but he's off to a strong start for this year.
He's the front runner for the TLM Senior Circuit Award and my front runner for Album of the Year right now. I've listened to 3 albums in 2022 and he's in first. So will that last even another day or two? We'll see. But
all right, so let us know what you think of this record. If you've heard it, drop your thoughts down in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you've not subscribed yet, hit the bell for notifications. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website is in the video description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.